Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Adventures of Ash and Steel. Why? Because it's Monday night, I'm too tired to be in the right sort of mindset to play certain other games. I'd almost like to do some more Scarlet Hollow, but it's just not right, you know. Now, I'll do it again soon, promise. Probably Thursday. So, can I take that? No. The merchant Kuzman asked us to get some party supplies for a large event that will be happening in some kind of noble mansion somewhere. And it required a lot of different kinds of alcohol. Not very many different kinds of alcohol, but large quantities of 3 types of alcohol, including vodka, for which I have searched high and low. I searched here, I searched there, I searched everywhere, and I searched on the forums and found that there is no vodka in the game. It is a translation error. What he apparently requires is 10 bottles of this rye-based alcohol, which Tristan has been drinking heavily to increase his immunity, and because if he drinks 4 more bottles of it, he'll get +1 stamina permanently. So now I'm going to go and try and purchase some rye. I'm going to avoid the establishment near the city gates because I was warned off from that one. So when I was told to go... Oh, what was it? Don't like the way he's sinking into the ground there. Look, it's city stuff, it's loading. We're on a go slow tonight, apparently. So slow, in fact, I'm going to make it even worse and do a quick recording check. All looks good so far. So I'm going to go down to the large, not quite so rough tavern by the docks. Actually, it does have rooms for rent, even if I've never been able to use them. So I'd say it's more of an inn. And the back doors should be just down this way. Now, we do want to be careful. Some young ruffian has taken it upon himself to antagonize us, possibly even pick a fight with us. There may be others. Who are you?
Hey, Tris! Over here!
Huh?
I need your help. You're not from around here, so the city's gangs don't know your face yet. That was me answering your why me in advance. May I proceed?
Aye.
I've recently been contacted by the parents of a young lady named Illida. She went missing not so long ago. The clues all lead to the port, so I suspect the gangs I mentioned are involved in this somehow. Go check their stashes while I gather more information. I would do it all myself, but time is of the essence.
Predicting my questions again?
I tried, but you beat me to it. What say you? Are you in for a good cause?
I am. Where are these stashes?
Listen carefully. One is behind the hangars. Another is right at the pier. One more by the fishmongers. And the final one in an alley. Meet me here when you're finished.
Don't like the sound of that alley.
Listen, I'm not from around here.
Tristan from Astarte, cartographer, has only recently arrived to the island on a ship that did not pass through the city port.
You sure know a lot about me.
That's my job. Call me Pinker.
I shouldn't have come here. Oh, interesting.
Do you sell anything special?
One bottle. Not enough. Yep, shouldn't have come here. I'll just reload. Right, I'm getting out of town. It's too dangerous. Everywhere seems to be springing difficult tasks that are highly detrimental to our health, at best, upon us. I think we're better off getting out of town for now. I'll see if I can find a few more bottles somewhere, but it's going to take me a while to get 6 more. Especially if I want to drink those 4. Because otherwise I might lose count. Alright, here we go. So, there's the impossible vodka. There are vodka bottles. There are vodka glasses. Cracked vodka bottles, but no actual bottles of drinkable vodka in the game. It could be that the rye is supposed to be called vodka. It could be that they meant to have something else instead of vodka. But if Tristan's drunk 16 bottles of vodka already, he's not been here that long, has he? I'd just like to remind myself of my newfound creative abilities, because your arc... Oh, yeah, but hang on. 5 cleavers. Sure. None of those. Well, one of those, but we're using it. None of those. So now... Ugh. Let me guess. Oh, we can! And we can sell it for 22. So at some point I'll want to check how much I could purchase iron for, to see if I could set up a cheap little loop here to exploit. I suspect not. If I go to the Grey Shaftian Hound, am I going to get into trouble as soon as I head through the doors? The inn over that way, near the city gates, contains a man who wants to fight me. The inn over there contains a man who wishes to engage me in some manner of criminal enterprise, going and checking the smugglers' hiding spots of some gang or another, who are likely to do me in, probably because he's wanting to steal from them and they know his face.
I have the most intricate fabrics on Greyshaft.
I could go invest in our burnt out ruin. Repair the floors and walls and roof a bit. That would cost pretty much all our gold. Most of our quests seem to involve finding something like a creature's liver, or other things that are just far beyond us at the moment. So what could I do? The best thing I could do at the moment, the 2 most achievable tasks, would be to continue the investigation into the missing camp from the missing cook from the woodcutter's camp, or to head out to the graveyard where the gravediggers believe a man was not really buried, and that he's rather buried his stash there or something. It's too early in the morning to go into the shop and try and buy some food. We'll just have to make do without. And again, I can't remember for certain if we managed to get the bonus for eating 20 carrots or 20 cheese, but I'm pretty sure we did one of those a long time ago. I have here 3 carrots and 16 cheese. I know I've eaten at least 4 cheese because I bought a batch of 20. So if I work my way through the cheese, by the time I reach the end of it, I should either gain the benefit or have already done so. Let's go see what the gravediggers want, and let's hope it's not 5 cleavers. Today they want 8 herbfish. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon. And since we're in the area, we might as well go looking for armed men who are good at fighting, who would be interested in a job. Hello, what was... There's usually a few chaps around here with weapons who lean against the fences. Maybe it's too early in the morning. I suspect if I... Now, hang on. Oh. Now we do want to find out why the miller's flour is being stolen from the windmill. I'm not sure this is the windmill in question. It might also be worth trying to... Now look, there's flour, right? We can steal the flour. Apparently that flour doesn't even count as stealing. This we might have already emptied. Oh, what's this? Empty vodka bottle. Yeah. Nails. No, we're good. There is a mine here in the edge of the cliff face. We have been in here before and had the opportunity to rob the place and chose not to do so because it was rather dishonourable. Seems more like a distillery. I think we'll head back outside. And yeah, let's there's some Ranta fighters there. They're probably easier to handle than the ones at the Grey Shaftian Hound. But do we want to get embroiled in yet another Ranta camp? I can't remember if there are experience points for Ranta victories. I mean, it's quests, so there probably will be. If we just head out this way... we may have a relatively safe time of it. Now, low-level creatures have been replenished in this area by higher-level ones. And it might be worth practicing against these in safe areas that we know, rather than fighting against other foes. And the monsters that have been giving me a hard time recently are not going to get any easier. There's no ability score that protects against stunlock. We need to get better at dodging to the left and right to avoid the big beetles. Oh, and also that's a point. Big beetle was down here on the left, down the side path, wasn't it? In a sort of constricted space, so that might not be very good, but we can try. We can also save the bloody game before we try. Pretty sure I've mined this out in the previous episode. Looks like we can do it again. Okay. Good. Either our pick broke, or we've mined it out again and it takes a long time to recover. Our pick did not break. Now, what would be interesting would be to know if the low-level monsters I have not slain have also been upgraded or not. Because while I haven't been there since release, in the demo, the two maulers that we were warned to avoid were one young, one adult. They may now both be adults. They were also separate enough that the young one could be tackled individually. That's two beetles. I am not confident with this because the one on the right is likely to come and join in. Let's head back towards the miners' camp and take the opposite of the advice we were given. We're searching for a missing chain and a missing shiny thing that belong to two of the men who work here at the camp. Little do we know they are one and the same item. The one lost his chain, the other found it, and then he got himself into trouble and
That's
dropped
for
it
sure.
somewhere.
Why is he wearing that junk?
Mate, it's not going to change
My
anytime
bones
soon.
are aching again. Been trying all sorts of ointments. Nothing else.
And nothing's likely to change.
This weather's been bad lately.
I hear you. I don't like it, but I... Oh, wait. Which one's heavy and which... Well, that's must be the normal one. That looks heavy. Oh, you're so dead. Okay, change it up, Tristan. Okay, changing combat stances. You've become a true warrior. Use the change stance buttons to adapt your fighting style. Every subsequent attack in a combo deals more damage and strengthens the effects of the current stance. We can move stance up or down. Quick stance allows you to deal fast blows to the enemy, but your damage and stagger chance are significantly reduced. This is great for quick and safe attacks. Balanced stance is the jack of all trades, providing stable damage dealt at a reasonable speed. Oh no, power stance. I skipped that over completely. Power stance allows you to deal considerable damage with a high chance of staggering the enemy. That would be great against rat walkers and beetles. Not all weapons work with every stance. Take that into account when choosing your fighting style. Now, I originally took this to mean that not every fighting style is available for every weapon. But it might just mean that some weapons don't work very well in certain stances. And since we do need a lot more meat, hey, let's eat some cheese while we're at it. And beware the bigger wolf is over there. Oh shit. Yeah, just come alone, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ow.
You like that? It's only going to hurt more.
Okay,
Keep breathing.
mate.
Inhale.
I'm not sure that was
Exhale.
very effective, so let's just eat some more. I'm not sure it was very effective because it got us hit a lot. And the implication is that changing styles is not good for our... well, maintaining the same style is good for us. We'll go tackle that final mauler by the cave. And then... then I imagine we'll look inside. I like the fact that our stance is remembered when we sheath the weapon and pull it out again. Have a carrot, that'll probably put us up on full. Alright, you. Oh, did we really kill that with one hit? Interesting. Now, this cave looks dangerous and not very safe. There's a gold chain. And a woodcutter's axe that someone appears to have left here. There's a skeleton that is hampering our ability to move past, to be honest. And a mining node. Let's give it a try. Good start. Ooh, really good. Not quite so good that time. Okay. Oh! Yeah. Nope. The stopping time is... Ooh, that is cruel. Okay. So if we aim for... Nope. I was aiming for around there as the finishing point. Oh well. We got some metal. What do we need? Is it 10? And a woodcutter's axe. 17 one-handed damage as opposed to 26. And only requires 16 strength, which we have currently. So let's head back to the woodcutter's camp and probably save the game before experimenting with quest rewards because they do differ somewhat. I'm going to be giving this back to one of the men here.
Spaces though won't fit through the entrance soon.
Something was banging around in the cellar all night. Couldn't bring myself to risk
It
checking.
belongs to this man, but I believe he gives us
Can't trust
a
anyone
lesser
nowadays.
reward.
You said
Oh!
Look what I found.
Oh! That's my chin! You have my sincerest thanks. It's an old family heirloom, and I'd feel real stupid for losing it like that. Where'd you find it?
Under a rock near the stumps.
Sent Bird into the woods for nothing then. Oh well.
You asked him to look for it too.
Yeah, I saw him hurrying off into the woods in the middle of his shift the other day. I figured the salted beef didn't agree with him as all. I called out for him to look for my chin on his way back, and he gave me a nod as he ran away.
Was he gone long?
Long enough. He didn't meet his quota that day, and he told me he looked around all the stumps we'd felled recently, but didn't find anything. You have my deepest thanks for finding my chin. Here, take this as a token of my appreciation.
So he gives us a hunk of cheese and 150 experience points. Whereas, if we take it back to Vyman, I believe the reward is significantly larger, although the information's slightly less helpful. I can't remember what he gives. I think it might be money. Because he found it after...
Maybe I should move to the village.
What's his name? Oh, this is Hugo. Vyman's the one I just tried. Right.
Ha! You found it! Or did you find it?
Didn't
You
steal
lot
it, mate.
seem like you get along on the surface, but each one of you's more suspicious of everyone else than the last. Judge for yourself. Why would I steal from you? You've never stolen anything from me.
You right. I never take from anyone else unless they take from me first. Since I lost my shiny in the camp, I decided I could take whatever I wanted from anyone in the camp.
And what did you take?
I took the old man's belt so I could keep my axe at my side. I took an apple from Vymon since he has a lot. And I took Bread's shirt to wrap my head and keep the sun off. But he got paint all over it, and I don't want it anymore. There, I guess you can have it if you like red.
Here's your shiny, big guy.
So now, if we go with Vyman, we know that Bird went off into the woods and was a very long time. If we go with Hugo, we know that Bird got blood all over his shirt. And I think this is what we need to really accuse him. This is going to get nasty now. So we're putting on our
Happens all
proper
the
helmet.
time, you know. You said it.
something was banging around in the cellar all night. Couldn't bring my... What a thick fog!
Just who I wanted to see.
This is a nice shirt, Bird.
So, our little fill-in is sniffing at other people's arses like a tracking dog, is he? What are you getting at? Out with it.
You called Derek because he found your cache like I did. Here we go.
You killed Derek because he found your cash like I did. And you could have come to an agreement like you did with me. But why do that when you could just take the money for yourself at the same time? And it wasn't the first time, was it? You've been stealing from the others for a while.
I don't know what you...
It doesn't matter what you know or don't know, Bird. I'll just tell Akim everything I know. Actually, wait. Why bother him? I think I'll tell the other woodcutters instead.
Well, wait, please, wait. I didn't mean for this to happen. I figured I could talk to him, keep him from sticking his nose in my business. I was even ready to give him money, but he's young and foolish. He came at me with his axe, practically chopped my arm off. And then, well, what happened. I didn't mean to kill him. I hit him in the back of the head to knock him out, calm him down. Right. Then I sat with him for an hour, then 2, then 3, waiting for him to come to. But then I realised he wasn't moving. I put an ear to his chest and couldn't hear his heartbeat.
Why's there blood on the axe then?
I panicked. It's not like I'm some monster who murders every day. I figured since he was dead, it'd be best for it to look like a robbery, all bloody-like, natural. So I hit him with the axe a few times.
Where'd you hide the money?
I didn't even want the damn money. This whole time I've been trying to figure out how to get it to the men without drawing suspicion to myself. Do you think you could help me out?
What do you mean?
You know, give them the money. You're an honest man, and besides, Akim asked for your help. You can tell him you found the profits and then hand them over. They'll call you a hero, start praying to the Seven for your health and all. And you can keep my portion for yourself. Fair's fair.
This is new. Had to pretty much fight him. You know what? We are trying to be honourable here. You're a murderer, Bird. Money won't fix that, but I'm not going to turn you in, or... No, you're a murderer and a thief.
No. You're a murderer and a thief.
You'll ruin me! They'll send me to the scaffold, chop off both my hands as an example to other would-be thieves, and then leave me to die in my own blood, please! I beg of you, don't do this!
Huh. Interesting.
They have definitely stirred something up. My bones are aching again. Been trying all sorts of ointments.
I managed to find
Nothing
your money.
else.
One be praised. How'd you do it?
But I haven't gone and...
I figured out that Bird was behind all this. The money was in his chest. And he killed Derek.
Oh. I'm too old for news like this. Feel like it's time I retired and raised my grandchildren.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to call for the guards. What else?
You know
I'll send
what?
someone right away. Thanks for your...
Sod it. If I can talk my way out of it like that... It was a very long drawn-out fight. Back in the demo. With Bird being very dangerous with his axe. Lots of dodging was involved. And using the power attack to knock him down. I don't want to fight him again. But if I'm going to play it like that,
was banging around in the
I'm going
cellar
to be
all night.
extra honourable.
Couldn't bring myself to risk.
Better than stealing another
Someone
man's
was out
wife for
wandering
another
the
quest.
streets, yelling like a bloody fool.
Here we go.
Oh,
Look what I found.
I feel more comfortable with this.
Under a rock.
sent Bird into the...
You asked him to...
Yeah,
Was he gone?
long enough. You have my...
Now, no bloody shirt this time.
But the one almighty. I heard the orders, all the buzz about something.
Yeah, they've been running their feet off lately.
Must be some kind of a commission coming from the capital.
I heard that their leader was given the boot.
Are you serious?
This does mean it might be harder to get him to admit to it.
Here's the thing. When Derek was sent off to pick up the money, you were spotted packing up and leaving too, even though it was the middle of your shift. Want to tell me where you were headed in such a hurry?
So, our little fill-in is sniffing at other people's arses like a tracking dog, is he? What are you getting at? Out with it.
Okay, yeah.
You killed Derek because he...
It doesn't
So
matter.
we'll
Wait, I didn't mean to
through
kill
this.
him.
Why's there blood on...
I panicked.
Where'd you hide the money?
I didn't even want the...
What do you mean?
You know.
So he's given us for money. Right.
No. You're a murderer and a thief.
You'll ruin me. They'll send me to...
So then... we get away before he changes his mind about swinging that axe at our head.
I was howling at the walls yesterday.
And go report to the boss.
Fearless.
I managed to find your money.
One be praised. How'd you do it?
I figured out that Bird was behind all this. The money was in his chest. And he killed Derek.
Oh. I'm too old for news like this. Feel like it's time I retired and raised my grandchildren.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to call for the guards. Where else? I'll send someone right away. Theft I can understand. None of us are saints around here, but he won't get away with something so heinous. Thanks for your help, Tris. Here, take this.
Interestingly, if he had killed the man by accident, a letter. What letter? Oh, the quest letter, he's taken it, right? So that was mainly about the experience then. The gold was just 100. There's a merchant across this bridge who might sell booze.
Have you heard about what the Moon Sect did?
Huh?
They broke into the abandoned fort.
Why?
Do I want to go see how Hugo's doing? Hugo? Rummer. If the two wolves near him are back, and they're both adults, he might die. And I've no idea who those men that will fight the rat walkers up at the bridge are. So, yeah. I don't know if they have names, if they're anybody meaningful.
Why is he... Any luck?
Let's buy some stuff. Do you have... Yes, you do. We'll have all three bottles, please. That takes us up to 7. If we get 3 more, we may be able to try. Get 4 bottles of milk as well.
Buy more.
Onions, some stuff. I think that's... Wait. I'm not going to get... I will get 2 spices. 2 bags of spice. In case the gravediggers ask for it again. I'm going to keep collecting raw meat because I think I need 25. So where from here? Well, here's the thing. I think this is an experiment. Fucking hell, we cannot dodge in that stance. Right, not a good experiment. I do want to try one more time. I don't like the way it runs around the building to be extra difficult. Okay, interesting. Fucking hell, mate. Not working. Okay. Damn it, almost. Okay. I might be mistaken as to which is the heavy stance and which is the quick stance then. Well, I can't afford to go in there if I'm going to end up fighting more than one at a time. Single target only, except maybe with maulers. And one reason I saved here is that there were two down this path of the young variety some time ago, and it was almost possible to tackle them individually. Not young now. Okay. Don't like that. That's good, Tristan.
You asked for it!
He's really lost interest. What the hell is going on with that creature? Trying to get me to fight you both. Okay, back it up, Tristan. Back the fuck up. Because this one's apparently immune to damage.
Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Come at me.
Easy, we're halfway through our healing.
You like that? It's only going to hurt more.
Oof. Right. That was harsh and brutal, and probably all we can risk on this path for now. We should also absolutely check for lodgerings. We have only one. Not really worth it. 850. What did we spend money on? Foodstuffs, I think.
Absolutely foul.
Okay, so if we go back towards the city, avoiding the beetles, eat even more cheese. Then we can head towards the Grey Shafty and Hound and hope we don't find trouble just inside its doors. So the question becomes, how are we going to use this money
Remember how things used to be? This is nothing in comparison.
to aid our progress in some way, to improve our lot? to push us towards the next level. Because we still need basically another 3,500. We can still get very good money for this. Its damage to strength requirement ratio is pretty atrocious. Look, that's 17 for 25, that's 26 for 19. Yeah, slower attack rate. Then again, 17 damage, 16 strength. Look, that 23 is pretty good. And we fought those without putting our helmet on again, so that makes us look a fool. Let's put some tomatoes here because they count towards something as well. And keep on going. I have a little bit of a plan and it's not very good. So let's just proceed that way. Now the funny thing is, if it was only the murder and it was accidental manslaughter instead of murder, I might have been willing to be merciful. However, the fact that he didn't deny the accusation that he has been stealing from the other woodcutters for a long time before this incident even occurred damns him even further, and that's why I was willing to let him suffer the full consequences of his actions. It's a shame because he's probably the best worker there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hugo is strong, but needs supervision, that's the word I was looking for. Hugo needs supervision. Weiman's getting a bit old and senile. Almost. And Bird, he's focused, he does his work. Turns out, though, he's been a right
Happens
load of
all
trouble.
the time, you know. You know what people are saying? Another barnacle bucket, wrecked in the reefs.
Where exactly?
Somewhere near the old cove, I think.
Did anyone make it out alive?
Don't think so, no.
That's unfortunate. That's for sure.
So we've spoken to the woman at what appears to be the Free Hunters woodcutting camp, where I still haven't found the man in charge that I'm supposed to take the orders to. Here's a fellow who looks like he might be a good city guard, but wait, he's Numa.
You're Numa, right?
Oh, I might be. Who's asking?
My name is Tristan. Dobbs is getting the old guard back together.
Well, that sounds nice, of course, but I have too much to do as it is. How about this? If you get everyone else to agree, I'll go too. But until then, I have to give my excuses.
Now that means I can go look for the other two fellows. One of those is working on the Alpha and Omega farms.
Life goes on.
The other one is hiding out
People are
at
saying
one of the hunters'
another barnacle
camps
bucket
somewhere,
wrecked in the reefs.
and I don't believe
Where
we've
is
met
that?
him yet.
Somewhere near the old cove, I think.
Did anyone make it out alive?
Don't think so. No.
So if we head towards the Hound and check inside and everything's okay, we can try to buy more rye. And if we can purchase enough, we can come back and give it to the merchant outside town for a reward, which would help push us towards the next level. Also, it would get it off our quest list. However, we should become aware that the city is
Ah, that's for sure.
waking up and becoming
Someone
a
was
more
out
dangerous
wandering the
place to us.
streets and
Also, I
yelling
should
like a
stop
bloody
ending
fool
episodes in
again
the
last
city
night.
because it's
Keep
a bit
your
of a lag
hands where
fest
I
when
can
it
see
loads in.
them.
It's better if I save somewhere out in the wilderness and then come back to the city mid-episode. There are maulers here on these hills that I may be able to tackle. it somewhat individually. So that's not an entirely bad idea. I'll just have to be very careful of the beetles to the left, to the eastern side of the path. And I think I'll need to approach the maulers from this direction. Also, there's one in the ruins up ahead I can definitely tackle individually. Wait. Wrong path. No, it's not. I believe I am correct. Also, I need the meat. Oh wow, big damage, okay. Must have been a critical. Could I get an actual hit in? That would be really lovely.
You asked for it!
Okay, that is not nice. We're in heavy damage. Got the bugger. Right.
Absolutely foul.
You know, maybe have a tomato with that cheese. Help share the two flavours. I mean, we don't need to rush to the health benefits of narrow diets, do we, Tristan? Is that the only one? No, there's... Are you coming? Excellent, please do. Ow! Right, you get hit.
Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale.
And I think that warrants another tomato. Get that red juice running down your face instead of the blood. That puts us on... put your helmet time. Put your helmet on, Tristan. You'll live better. And I reckon a hunk of cheese as well. Okay.
Ugh, gross.
And yet you live. Which is more than can be said for some poor sods. Right. Come on, I know I saw another one round here. All good. As long as it's only one. We'll be okay. Okay, back it up, Tristan. Enjoy the rocks. I think this might be the heavy stones. Because it's
Keep
red,
breathing.
and we see
Inhale.
big blurred motion lines.
Exhale.
Ow. Fucking hell. Got the bugger. Right. Well. We better be careful now. There might be one or two more round here. But I think we're in the clear at this point. And we were asked to obtain, well, 6 more. I don't think they'll be too close to the camp, because Jiri will just kill them. There might be one more on this path around the camp. And I suppose we'll have to wait and see. You know what? One more tomato while we're at it. Oh, it's getting late. You know what then? If we head towards the... we can go back to the order and rest. It'll probably take too long and be dangerous. We do have a camp right here, so I'm going to save. Because I want to see if we can make good purchase at the Hound. Also, we might be able to talk one or more of the mercenaries into taking up a job as a guard in the marketplace. Now the more dangerous monsters come out at night, so I probably don't want to be caught out in it. Here we go, we'll have a nice little jog. Music immediately cut out mid-strain, made me concerned fight music was about to start. But I think we've just transported ourselves into another area.
The bandits around here have grown fearless. Someone was
Is there going to be another troublemaker
arrested
at the
someone
bar
in the
here?
port last night.
These freemen are
I
just
think we're...
Someone was out
Fancy
wandering
name.
the streets and yelling like a bloody fool again
Right.
last night.
Why would any good
Maybe I
man
should
You there.
move to the
back off
village.
to roam the woods like
The
that?
city makes me sick.
I require some of your... Oh, yes, please. Right. I need 7 at least. Well, I'll make it a dozen just to be on the safe side. So I'll take, yeah, just a dozen. Oh, so many things we could... Advanced. I think the basic meals are back at the King's Brother.
I'd like to stay the night, that's all.
And nothing Nothing's likely to change.
What an almighty.
Just normal.
Happens all the time,
Hanging
you
around
know?
in the cellar all night.
Have you seen how that
Bring
bring
myself to risk
Captain's
checking
faces?
what it was.
Won't fit through the entrance soon.
You had a couple maulers howling at the walls yesterday.
Have you heard
They've
about
grown
the
fearless.
Good morning, Tristan. Rise and greet the world. And my legs are getting cold. Maybe I should go get a blanket. Let's hold off for now, though. If we make good headway, we can make it to that other merchant by nightfall. You know what?
Someone was out wandering the
Going
streets
to the
and
abandoned
took a bloody
nosy.
fool again
What
last
for?
night.
I'll be down to find out.
Why is he wearing that
Large
junk?
empty spaces, though.
They have
Or
definite
fit room
Why is he
entrance.
wearing that junk?
So put our cap back on. Okay, we got our 10 bottles of not vodka. Let's go find Kusman. But you know what? I'm going to go find that blanket first, so one moment. I am back, and more importantly, insulated against the cold. I will begin to grow warm. Now let's get all this booze back to the merchant before I accidentally drink some and have to go search for it all over again. It seems that it will be even longer before I finally obtain a map. And here's the interesting part. I'm reasonably certain that what we actually obtain is Tristan's old map. And while he has mapped the oceans around the island, we actually have to map it out ourselves by exploring. We may need to climb up various vantage points to get a better view of the situation and increase our map. Apparently people call this radio towers, even though there's no radios in this game. And it's something to do with some other computer game where squaddies run around with guns shooting each other like brainless twats. And swearing and using some very offensive language, which I'm not going to go into here, because I don't need to. However, Tristan has a long
Keep your hands where I
road
can
ahead
see
of him through the city. So I've got enough to fulfill the job and to hopefully hit my 20 bottles quota. I will not, however, drink any until the task is done, just to be certain. After which, one small celebratory drink is probably in order. Speaking of which, this quest has been such a large order that the reward will hopefully be commensurate. Or perhaps we should say proportional. It's almost the same thing. Of course, now we sit and wait while the city loads. And we're in. Now we want to get all the way out the other side of the city and back before darkness. So I'm willing to make quite a jog out of this. First, we need to make our way through to the docks. And then take a hard turning to the right. You gone too far, my lad? He was too focused on the goal, not the path to get there. Evidently. And be aware that there are now ruffians and thugs out to get us, who may very well assault us in broad daylight. especially in the drinking houses, it seems we've made a bit of a reputation for ourselves.
Can't see toothed in a fog like this.
And some of the local ruffians have decided to take us down a peg or two, because while we are somewhat affiliated with the Order of the Seven, we aren't exactly an established member, and the Order isn't really taking much care for us yet. So we're easy pickings. We got a target painted on our head, and we haven't exactly got a lot of armour to protect ourselves with. The game won't even let us have a shield, because apparently Tristan never gets to use shields. Only enemies get to use them, and not even very many enemies. It would appear they are not in vogue on this island, for some reason. Maybe the locals like to feel they're swift and nimble and highly skilled in the evasion of blows. Now, we want to go along here, and then not that way, but this one. Also, we should slow it down, because if we get there too early in the morning, the merchant will not receive us. Should have thought of that sooner. Oh well. So many people, so little time. How do we waste all this time? Why not gaze out at the giant statue in the distance and wonder how that may come into play later on? It is an imposing sight, and one the townsfolk seem all rather used to. Let's also examine our hunger and thirst. Okay, a bit of a drink is in order. I wonder if when I had more than 10 rye, they were equipped in a hot slot, and as such, were not recognised by the quest. You know what? Let's track the quest, just so that we can see it disappear from our screen. What do you mean nothing to track up? Oh, wait. There we go. Now we just need to walk slowly enough maybe even examine all these people on the way, in case they might happen to have anything of interest to us. Wait, why do I... That's not how you spell Raphael, unless you spell it that way. He's a guard. I can't exactly persuade him to go become it. Hang on.
Is everything alright?
Why the depths are you asking, huh? Peter?
Well, someone wants guards in the marketplace, and I was briefly thinking you might be persuaded to take up a different post. And if only we could allow more time to pass, maybe we can waste some time looking at our skills. When we finally gain a level, we would need to reach someone who could train us in this, and that will not be easy. These are like hunter's camp type things mostly. All of these are dexterity 25. This is not. it would appear that at least dexterity 20 would be advantageous to us. We could dip into weapon and armor improving, but really we're wanting to save up all the money for advanced crafting, and the easiest way to do that, I suppose, would be to make a bunch of gear and sell it. 25 insight, yeah. Lots of 20s and 25s in requirements I'm seeing. Would be nice to pick this up. But let's see, what else? 20 strength. 30 strength ain't happening anytime soon. 20 strength, 20 strength. 20 strength. Appears to be our next milestone to unlock a whole lot of these. We have lots of quests to look at. 20 strength is at least 2 levels. Unless we find some vastly strength improving equipment. And I do think I will be placing 2 points into strength at the next level. Because I'm going to be hopefully upgrading my equipment, which means I'll be losing the +3 strength benefit from this set bonus. What's this? It's cheese. Well, I suppose... I mean, we were even given some by the woodcutter, weren't we? For returning his chain. What's this, I wonder? A bunch of empty beer bottles, half a dozen of them. Not lying on the wall, but sitting in a sack. Is that even more cheese? Okay. 2. Is that more? No, not this. That. There's a lot of cheese in this area. Will there be rat walkers here at night? I hope not. Oh, if we put all 3 points in there, we could start using this axe. At which point, that would actually be a significant... I mean, the attack speed is low, so I don't know. Whereas that's a good one. Thrown off balance. I don't know if that's us or the enemy, but it's the same for both of those. I'm thinking, and yes, I am blatantly wasting time here to give the merchant time to get work, 2 points into strength and either 1 into stamina or fortitude next level. I'm also well aware that the next level is some way away. And I have spent enough time. Let's go visit the merchant and make our delivery. Hopefully, this will be the end of it, and he won't ask us to actually go deliver it somewhere. If he does, would he please parcel it all up so I can't accidentally drink some of it on the way to the delivery point? You there? It is you, isn't it? It is. Excellent. I brought everything and it was a lot of work because I didn't know what you were looking for.
I've got everything. Oh, impressive. Did you rob a wine shop?
Not
Here's
exactly.
your gold. You earned it.
Job done and 750 experience. Excellent.
How are things? Not so good. The deal I mentioned fell through.
Oh, I should have asked back
Now I've got
later.
all this cheap booze on my hands taking up storage space.
Oh, God.
Think you could find a buyer? I'm not even hoping to pull a profit now, but it'd be nice to break even. Ask the tavern keeps. Maybe someone will bite.
Well, we have spent far too long delivering it. So if we set all his booze aside, iron, 1 iron would make us 1 sword, which would, so we can't buy the iron to make the swords. could buy the... Oh, iron ore for 5 each. We have 15, so we could make one more. Maybe we should go get another, wait. Heart, mandibles, liver! Leather could be very interesting if I had something extra to make from it. Let's just head back now into town, because I believe I have another merchant or two to visit. We want to get a liver back to Jeux by the main gate. And she will hopefully then be able to make us some oil to deliver to the weapon shop owner. I almost called him weapon master or weaponsmith, whereas those are both probably wrong, so that he can clean up that rusty old sword. Alright, whoa, Tristan. He was stuck in sprint mode that time after the transition. Interesting. Well, this is a fairly straight path, so a good old sprint would probably help us and slow it down to a jog. And keep making your way to Jeux' shop on the other side of town. Got a transition hit? No? Okay, excellent. I'm not going to go poking around taverns trying to make a deal, because stepping inside them just seems to be bad news at the moment. Maybe if we get another level or 3. Whoa! Steady on, lad. You almost ran into the side of a cart there. In fact, you practically did.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
Alright, mate, I'm just going past you on the stairs. No need to get testy. I understand you're carrying a high-value cargo crate, but I want none of it. I just want to get past. Oh, wait, no. This might almost be quicker. And if this all works out well enough, we'll be able to... Whoa, here we go. I'm not sure, because this feels slightly longer. I'd be cutting through 2 districts, but I'm cutting through 2 districts here, and it feels almost like a longer path. I still think I'm going to make it there in good time before nightfall, though.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
Although, there's a lot of work to do. And here we are.
Here's some liver.
Excellent. Just a moment. Easy. And... there you go. Your oil.
Did you just squeeze it?
Yes, she did.
It's a family recipe.
Right. Well, now we've got everything we need here. Buyers, plural. Not just for one, then. Always pays to pay attention to detail. Now. Ooh. Are you going to allow us to speak?
Keep your hands
you
where
will.
I can see that.
Gah. I'm not going to... No.
Here, I have everything.
Hold on. Now, a drop here. Wipe. And all clean. Bring it to Birch.
Birch?
The blunderhead from Preyport. Lives across from the usurer.
Okay, and we know where the usurers is. Unfortunately. Someone let his sword get into a bad way. Remember, usury is a sin.
Brings
Buy
bliss.
one, get one free. Look, just be sure to purchase two.
Truly are quite the errand boy, are we not? I don't like the fact that what's his name isn't there. I hope this doesn't mean the game's corrupting and crashing. I should probably end the episode soon anyway. But first... usury was the practice of lending money and expecting it to be repaid with interest. It's, in fact, something the financial system is still doing nowadays, although back in the day it was done with extortionate interest rates. Again, something the financial sector is still doing to this day, just in a much more moderated and controlled manner. Now the usurer is, I believe, in the next area up on the sort of to the left, as it were. Wait. Why did I think it was here? Okay, hold on. Pretty sure it is. I think he's up this path. And here he is. So across from him, presumably one of these two for Birch's place. We don't want to be seen breaking in. Are you Birch?
Hello? Well met, lad. Who are you?
I'm Tristan of Astarte.
Got it. My name's Birch, if you can see for yourself.
Are you a man of war?
Indeed. So watch your tongue around here unless you'd like to get a taste of my fists.
Well...
Gur said to give you this.
Wow, it's practically glowing. This old fighter's not used to handling such virgin steel. But not to worry. In my hands, it'll lose its innocence in no time.
No
Give
kidding.
Gur my thanks. I'll never forget this.
Excellent. While I'm here...
Do you like it here? On Greyshaft, I mean.
What kind of question is that? This is my home. I went to war to protect it.
So, that means you like it a lot?
Well, I'm not so sure about that. My house feels a little empty, you know?
You mean you don't have a family?
Ah, to the depth of them. I just want to fill it with nice loot. I want it to be my own Hall of Fame. I gave everything I brought back from the war to the poor, you know. Kept nothing for myself.
Oh, what kind of trophy would you like to have?
Took Tony knows. The head of some monster, perhaps, with huge teeth. I haven't had a chance to get anything like that yet. We only fought other people in the Stormwind's War.
I'll keep that in mind. Why not make that sword your first trophy? Display it proudly. And maybe, if I can make it back to the shopkeeper, he'll reward me. I mean, I think I might have got my reward anyway. But I don't think I did. I think that was a new objective being acquired. Oh, wait. Let's try not to get insulted by the crate carrier. He's not that great at his job. There's still a bookshop here we could visit. I should do that at some point. Apparently, if you read all the books in the bookshop, you get a point of insight. Now, the books probably aren't going to be cheap, and reading them will probably help us learn about the game world anyway, so I'd be well up for that. I just suspect I might need to keep some of this money for other things at this point in the game. Maybe Tristan should treat himself to 1 or 2 books from Barebow at some point, sometime soon. And we're creeping up towards our next level, so it's all good. Let's see if the fellow's here. He is.
Take a look!
At some point we should speak to him about the clothiers, but I have a mind that it will go slightly easier for us if we do his job to try and find guards for the marketplace first. Unless he then uses those guards to rough us up when we try and ask him for a favour, and he's like, without the guards, he feels vulnerable and is willing to cede to our demands, whereas with them, he feels like he has impunity. Right.
I gave him the sword. Good. What's Birch need with a shite old sword like that?
Keep your mouth shut. Here, coin for your efforts.
Well, thank you. Only weapons. Although we could get a weapon sharpening kit, which we could use. Oh, that's a lot of money. That is extortionate. Okay, but let's look at some of these for a moment. What I'm doing... Okay, strength 20 for 14 damage is not great. 15 for 15. 20 for 20 is good. 25 for 25. I'm pretty sure I could have got one of these. I think there's one of a mercenaries hall. And there's one in the hunter's camp, both of which I can pick up without it counting as stealing. I also feel I picked up one of them, so it may have been accidentally sold at some point. It would be nice to invest in a better helmet.
What almighty? I heard the orders all buzzing about something.
But I should probably think of other things I can do at this point.
Must be some kind of a commission coming from the capital.
And if I'm going to save soon, I should probably get the hell out of town.
There's nothing better than lunch on the road.
Speaking of which then, how am I doing for food and drink? And lunchrooms, milady. Do you have any more? No, not yet. I don't know if she'll ever refresh her inventory. But I don't seem to be finding them anywhere else. If I leg it back towards
Keep your hands
the
where I can see them.
Craftsman's district, I should be able to smelt another iron ingot. And then I think, maybe, purchase a new crafting recipe. For another basic item. Ooh. The shopkeepers seem to be all heading inside. Right. Well, since I am here... Hey, Vin. Right. Could do the club, which might not require metal. So let's just grab that anyway. Sure. The Warhammer may require more metal as it's two-handed, but we'll see. And now I think... one. Yep. So. 220. 220. 220. Okay, so they're all the same value. But so he'll take the axe off my hand for hey, come on, that mace is clearing up the mace I have for sale. Okay. So it's almost worth not learning to make bows yet. Yeah, I'm going to reload that. Okay. I could go roaming the wilderness looking for more maulers to slay. I think I need 6 more, right? And this sword we've crafted is not very good for us.
Why is
Wait,
he wearing
it gives
that
+5
jump?
fortitude. Really?
Keep your hands where I can see them.
That is actually pretty good compared to its damage output, so it's not on the list. And the washing machine's finished, so I'll be going hang up washing soon. Let's just get out of town then. I mean, it would be very nice, but I probably need the money for something else. Probably shouldn't hang on to it too much though, you know, I can't spend it in the afterlife. Or indeed in my next life. Unless miraculously a few of the coins trickle into my hands in a future incarnation. Far, far into the future. And ironically, if the money's been through enough hands, I mean, let's say somebody used one of my coins that I had in life after I perish to buy a cow. And then he milks the cow, him, his wife, his children, and they make cheese from the milk. And then they sell the milk. And then I get reincarnated, and I get given, as a child, my parents get one of the coins that was made from spending that milk, because those people needed to spend it on something else. And then my parents spent that money on me. Or invested it in something that then gave them more coins, and then those coins come to me in the future in my next life. Am I then essentially inheriting the wealth from my first life that has been put to good use by others without it being the exact same coins? And if so, are we all just leaving our funds to all our future selves and all of the others who are not us when we pass? And with that, I'm going to end the episode here and go and hang up some washing up. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the next one. I'll say goodbye for now, and cheerio everyone. See you all soon.